Hey guys, how's it going? Webhelp Sisanti here. And in this video, I'm going to teach you the basics, and actually it's about everything that you should follow to create great pieces of content. Basically, I'm going to teach you how you should structure it. It doesn't matter if it's just plain content or it's a caption for a video or a picture that you're putting up. It just doesn't matter. This is the format that you should be following for every piece of content that goes out on your LinkedIn, right? Like, just follow this as a syntax. Simple as that, right? Always in the first two lines before you see the see more, start with questions or the title. When people read about the first two lines, they should be able to understand what the piece of content is about. If this is something that doesn't interest them at all, they are never going to click the see more, which is your first call to action. And if they don't click on this, don't even imagine that they would like or comment on it. They wouldn't, because basically that means they haven't your post didn't catch their eye. Now that doesn't, I mean, let's just go through this, right? First thing, start with a question or the title of the topic. If you do, here is the one. It's Saturday evening almost. Why are you on LinkedIn? You might want to ask, why am I on LinkedIn? Right now, I've created curiosity. I've asked them a question and I've also created curiosity. Now, people want to know, why is this guy posting about Saturday evening? And why is he asking people? Why is he asking me that why am I on LinkedIn on a Saturday evening when he himself is on LinkedIn on a Saturday evening? People click on see more and then say, now you see this is a very short post. This is not a long one, right? Well, I have a full-time job, so weekends are the time when I get time to reply on comments, keep up to my promises I make on LinkedIn, and also plan the content for my next week. What's your excuse? Now, this is a very small post. This is no rocket science. It's a very basic one, right? I've put up a question. People click on see more. I've given them the reason why I am on LinkedIn. Now I'm asking them, what is your excuse, right? And I always end with a call to action. That is, I'm asking them a question. Now, how do they respond? By commenting, and that is why 110 people commented and the reach went to 118,000 views. Again, going back to the principle of content hacking, right? More comments, more would be the reach. Now let us go to the next one. Look at this. I was just checking my app usage stats, and guess what? Curiosity. My most used app on an everyday basis is LinkedIn and not Instagram or Facebook. I was actually happy to see the transition. Now, all of a sudden, I'm connecting with people on LinkedIn with a story which they might be going through the same too, because people who are active and engaging on LinkedIn are people who are actually on LinkedIn, so they would love to know the story. They click on it, and I have content broken down really nicely. And again, our call to action, just drop a comment below saying yes if you are also the ones which are active. Boom, 779 comments. Right now, if you see, go through all of my posts, there are two things that you notice. I don't have paragraphs of dumped content. I always break them into single lines, and I don't have paragraphs. The reason, it all of a sudden makes it really easy. Now look at this. This is a really long one, but there are simple single lines, right? I mean, what motivates you to push yourself harder? For me, it's not money, it's not power, it's always been curiosity. When I came across a new business model, a new specific tactic or a growth hack, a new idea, I'm super curious to know how it works, how someone made it work, how can I replicate it? Actually, these three could have been three different lines too, right? I want to jump into it as soon as possible, start working on it, make it happen all by myself. Learning should never stop, and curiosity is a trait which which won't learning stop, right? What motivates you? Let's talk. Obviously, not every post that you put out there, even if you follow the principle, will do really well, because people have to connect, and not every time you can connect every post of yours. If people are able to connect, you'd become probably the richest man in the world, because you know how things goes viral, and it's almost impossible. You can find out traits, you can keep trying, but not every time. All right, so as you can see, it just stopped at 13,000 views, and I also think something was seriously wrong with LinkedIn during this time, because all my posts, for example this one with 578 comments, has 21,000 views, and this keeps happening with LinkedIn. LinkedIn gets weird, right? They do get weird. But again, right, the other thing that I do is use a lot of emojis, because it clearly makes a distinction between line 1 and line 2. With the space, with the emoji, it just works, and also conveys the emotion, right? If I'm upset, for example, look at this post. I was selected for Emerging Growth Hacker India award, but I had to pay a nomination of $250 to receive the award. Here I'm here I have a wow or like a shock symbol. Here I'm laughing my ass out. So this is basically conveying your emotions, and emojis does brilliantly well. And this post also did brilliantly well with 1400 likes and 255 comments because people relate to it. Again, I ended it with a call to action, which is, have you come across any such instances, right? So this is other really important thing that you should absolutely follow when you are posting on LinkedIn. That is one, always break them into smaller lines. You can see every post of mine broken into smaller lines, the ones which have done well, the ones which has not done well, all of them, right? Now use emojis if you can. I like using emojis. Sometimes I miss out because, again, right, sometimes I'm just lazy to put emojis, that's all, right? But always use emojis. It does well. It conveys the information, conveys the, how do I put it, your emotion, which is very good on LinkedIn. For example, look at this. Every line ends with the emoji. Have a flow of text. Convey your story in simple lines rather than complicating it by having multiple long paragraphs. And always end with a call to action, which should be a comment or go to the first comment to pick the link, things like that, right? Now again, one thing that I quickly want to show you is LinkedIn can go crazy sometimes, right? Look at this post. This is insane. Okay, how I became a marketing manager at Uber at the age of 23. Something was definitely wrong with LinkedIn during this time, during those 2 3 days. It has 1500 likes, 160 comments, and look at the reach, 24,000. That is just not possible. So LinkedIn keeps updating their algorithm and things like that. And I was so sad that this post couldn't make it because this was a brilliant story. I mean, this is obviously my own story, and this is like my last 4 year story. I would obviously repurpose this content and put it again some other time, but again, right, like LinkedIn killed it because it has 1500 likes. It had the potential to go viral, but it didn't. Why? Because of LinkedIn algorithm or changes that was happening then, right? So this would happen to you too. This was the first time that happened. Again, the second time that happened to me was now. Like, I just noticed that 578 comments and 21,000 views. This is just not possible, right? This is not LinkedIn. So guys, these are things that you have to come across. But again, LinkedIn is a platform which is improving. So these are the advantages or the disadvantages that you have to handle. I hope this helped. I'll see you on the next one.